Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are. This is CmdrAleon, the host of the #1 late night spiritual UFO talk show, Encounters. Good to see everybody around the world. Have a seat, relax, meditation pillow, couch, chair, wherever you are. Everybody coming in there, good to see you. Good to see the whole world out there. We had a great show this morning, and we did a little bit of a interview thing this morning, and it was really good. We're going to make sure I don't have those shows yet on my YouTube channel. They will be on there by morning. We'll have that show on YouTube. God's Light and Love. Welcome, Jan R, Terry, everybody coming in here. My Cup of Tea, Jan R, Sprites. Good to see you. Lucy the dog. That's a good name. TK. Welcome. User 594. Carol 1111 Heart. Abra J. Welcome. Pen. Plunk 520. Johnny of the Third Kind. Welcome, brother. And hey, Meriwether. So what we're going to do is, number one, say good evening, everybody. Jay, everybody, Roy, Kramer, thanks for the likes. And we never know what's going to happen on the show when we interview people. Who's going to be Hey, Deborah, good to see you. We had run out of apple cider. We got a whole gallon of apple cider. Hence the big glass of apple cider. Apple cider is the commander's drink of choice. Dorita, good to see you. Science, Math, and Things. That's a good name. Tim, welcome to the show. And good to have everybody here. Lisa Killian, welcome to the show. Everybody coming in here. Sabrina, Tiffany, good evening. Francisco Benjamin, hey, Friendswood Furry, good evening. Good evening, April. Good evening, Judy McLean. And apple cider saved the world. Yes, it did, Octagon. It's good to have everybody here. The commander is in full activation mode and also host of this show. You know, I'm in full activation mode, folks. And also, just for all our moderators, I thank all the moderators who have been here helping us over the last year. Just a little update for moderators. Sometimes people are communicating and just chatting with each other, and you might say they'll make a sentence and you say, okay, what was that all about? But also there are people that are just saying hello to each other and having little chit chats here. So before we mute anybody, I'll be more aware of looking at the comments or whatever, because it just might be an interactive hello, Judy, or hello, Mr. Space, or whatever. So just be aware of that, you know. Other than that, thank you all my moderators for, doing such a wonderful job since last year. At Papa Smith for Smurf. Man, I can't even get the Smurf right. Good evening. You know what I mean? So, and the commander flows in the essence of Ashtar Command love frequency, and we're going to have a good show tonight. So welcome, user 334. I did not pin my goals. My cat is speaking. Missy is talking to me. She was sleeping. Now she's talking like crazy. It's like she just is I just gave her some treats. I have a feeling she's going to be talking for a while, and hopefully she'll go to sleep on the meditation pillow. So in the crystal room, there's a meditation pillow, and we set it up now for the cat so she can lay on it. She needs to just relax. And we did set our goals up tonight. It's going to be the brown hat with the mustache. We're going for 8 of those. I want to thank everybody who's been supporting the Encounter show for a long time. Ronaldo, welcome to the show. Lord J, welcome. And it's just good to have everybody here, And usually our nighttime show gets pretty big. Usually it's kind of weird that way. It gets really crazy. It will be on here till about 12:30, maybe 1. So we'll hit up probably over 150 to 200 people average per night. I think it's Iggy. Hey, Iggy. Good to have you with us. Thanks for the follow. Kimberly George. Thanks for the likes. Gris. Meet me, Nala Mom. Welcome, Nala Mom. Rod, everybody in there. Jackie F., thank you for the hat. We appreciate your gift. And if you're new to the show, we are the talk show host of the WESU-FM NPR Pacifica radio station, Ashtar Command Radio. I've been doing Ashtar Command Radio for 21 years. Hey, not just me, not just Nicole. Hello. Hey, Stacy, I saw UFOs. Oh, interesting. We might have Stacy saw UFOs. Stacy, we're going to follow you, and you might be our first guest tonight. If you're interested, when we start taking guest interviews on here, would you like to come on and be our first guest? Stacy says, I saw UFOs. Interesting. Let me see here. Hi, I'm new. Hey, Chris. Well, welcome to the #1 spiritual UFO talk show on social media. Not just TikTok, but everywhere. We're better than Good Morning America. We're better than Good Morning America, GMA. They can't even catch up to us. We're better than ABC's Good Morning America. What makes us different is we don't have, we just, we're live. They might be live too, but we really are doing something different. George Stephanopoulos would be jealous of us, I think. Hey, Cheryl, good to see you. Good to see everybody coming in here. Deborah, good to see you. Nancy, Carolyn M. Did you write a book about your encounter? No, it's funny you should ask me about writing a book. I, many years ago, was going to write a book about the Ashtar Command, and I never did. I just got too involved in the media part of things, and maybe someday. But, the way I look at it, I am the book, I've told people this even since last year. I said, you know what? I'm like a cosmic book. You ask me a question, I can go to any chapter you wish, which is actually true. So I haven't, written a book or anything now. But I started to one time, Commander, my daughter is addicted to your show now. Your daughter's addicted to the show. Well, you know what? It's not a bad addiction to be addicted to my show. There are worse things people can be addicted to on planet Earth. But if you're addicted to my show, hey, that's a good thing. Hey, Julie, good to see you. Welcome. Sophia, Trina, thank you for the likes. Judy M177, welcome. Researched Flat Earth, welcome. Julie Luna, hey, welcome, Julie Luna. Nope, Dave Nope, hey, Dave. Dave's last name is Nope. Hey, Rena. Good to see you, Len Gaffney. Good evening. We're going to have a great show tonight, folks. We are amped up, And one of the really interesting things is, like I talked about it briefly, I've been thinking about it, and I'm seeing these images that people are trying to talk about this thing on the East Coast in the Atlantic Ocean, and everyone's got an opinion about it. I'm sure some of you have seen it. According to the company that has the radar system, it was a glitch on their radar. Now, is that true? Who knows? But it is definitely causing a lot of theories and opinions, and I don't know if it's a glitch or whether it's real or not. Let's see. Yeah, but if you do, you could sell them with a autograph. Hey, Susan Mary, welcome to the show, Susan. Hey, sister, many blessings to you. We appreciate you. Nico and Oxy. Nico, welcome. Mikey, welcome. So we're definitely going to have a really terrific show here. I was out of body earlier. So you have been doing command. So how have you been doing? Victoria, we're doing good. I am so, in my Ashtar Command mode now. I've been so downloaded with stuff. You had to get apple juice. They have apple cider up in Maine. I'm not up in Maine, up in Vermont. What am I talking about? Does everyone remember having an encounter? Hey, I guess that's a good question. Midnight, how you doing, Midnight? Good to see you. Could be Atlantis or a UFO base causing the 80-foot waves. It could be. My personal thing is I've been watching that whole thing with that big thing on the Atlantic coast. Uh, some people say it's a Leviathan. They're wrong. I keep hearing this. There's these people that are getting it wrong. Now, if the thing is a glitch on their radar system, you think they would have corrected it, unless, there's an updated thing, whatever that site is where they're getting it. I'm going to bring James up for a minute. James and I had a beautiful conversation by phone. And, but the thing with this glitch or this, I think they're getting it wrong. If it's real, they're getting it wrong. James, good evening.
Hey, Commander. Hey, everybody. What if it was underground base?
Yeah, but the thing is supposedly moving.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, what if it was that underground ship or
It could, it,
Atlantis?
it could be, it could be, and like I'm still trying to figure it out. I'd like to get an updated tracking system of whatever that system is that somebody posted on TikTok. I can't figure out what website that is or what it is where they got that. If somebody does know, let
Right.
me know, because there are some people that are saying, oh, the company that made that thing, they said it was a glitch. Now, who knows what it is? How does anybody know it's a glitch or not a glitch or something? We
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
think people would have noticed 80-foot waves hopping around the the Atlantic down there.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting. I am going to have to do some, when I'm not on, I'll have to do some research about it because I only know what I've been seeing posted, and that's not enough for me. I need to find out where the source of the
Oh, look at
information
that
is.
connoisseur, and maybe it was nuclear experiment underwater.
Yeah, I mean, that could be possible. Years after you're just waiting,
Ooh,
it's just,
all ideas welcome.
Dharma says year after year, we're just waiting. Is disclosure coming? It's not going to be coming, Dust Armor. Welcome to the show. To answer your question, it's not going to come from the Ministry of Defense or the Pentagon, but I will tell you, I work with the Ashtar Command, and I can tell you that the Star people are coming now. You're going to see the original intent was 2027, but the timeline has been sped up, and you're going to see in the next year and a half, way before 2027, you're going to see increased activity of what you call spaceships that are not from Earth. That will be the star people that are coming here. If you're waiting for disclosure from any particular government, whatever country you're in, don't wait for that because they're not going to tell you the truth. They're just not.
Has Do we have any viewers in California? Because I've been seeing a lot of videos online. More of like, you remember a few months ago we saw that like Iron Man or that Angel video
Yeah,
of something in the air over there. Well, California, a lot of videos are coming out about there right now.
yeah, and there's
Things
a
they're
few.
seeing things.
They're seeing things, and also we're going to bring April up. She went to Atlantis on the spaceship. They just took her there, and she has some really new information. Stay on here. Also, there's somebody asking a question. Let me see. Where was it? Why has
Who are the star
why has it?
people?
Oh, no, the gift says why has it been sped up? Because the timeline just sped up. We don't. We as human beings, we just know that the time. I know these things. Many long time ago in 2023, I was getting information on my own, downloaded that the timeline has sped up. There were 2, 3 other places where I get collaboration of information. It's just time for us to be ready for contact. That means meditation. Get separated. Well, not separated. Get within yourself. It's really important that humans get prepared for. Hey, Courtney, humans get prepared
Hey,
for what's
Courtney.
happening. And let's see here. I'm just trying to. This is some good questions, and I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah,
bring.
Rob's in Cali. We got a bunch of people in California.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out here. Good evening,
Oh, look
everybody.
at this comment.
Let me see. I'm going
They
back down
said
here.
they got an alert not to be in the ocean or near it.
Where from? What part of the country?
Oh, bacteria. Okay.
Oh, okay. Lines, just a bunch of lines in the sky. I'm in California. Cherokee Moon, good evening. Let's see. Commander, look up Morpholites. I know about the morpholites. Those are in Texas. Those morpholites have been around for years. That's in Lubbock, Texas. Lubbock, Texas, I think it's called. Let's see here. It looks the timing.
We got the Marfa Lights and Marfa Kent.
Yep. I look at the time. Maybe I'm just missing it. Cato, I'm not sure. When are you going to meet your dad? So let me explain something about that. There's going to be 4 additional people besides myself. Well, 3 additional people. There's going to be 5 of us in general that will be at some point going on the ships. And my whole family's aware of it. I've been very transparent about it. And they're very supportive of me. So my daughter knows and my wife knows. So, but I can't tell you the day or time. It's just going to happen, and I'm just doing my thing, doing my show, doing my Earth-based regular life, and when it happens, it'll happen. So I'm very relaxed
when they pop up in Commander's backyard, that's when he'll go.
Or if they come in my living room when I'm doing a live
CE5.
Yeah, So I'm going to bring April about Atlantis. She has new information about that, and things that we don't know about Atlantis are going to be fascinating. Let me just bring her up here. And I think that's really good, things to share. For people that know, I can't even speak English tonight. People that do not know,
Hello.
We're echoing.
That's that phone. Yes. Let me pop down and go on the other phone.
Okay, go on the other phone.
I'll switch over.
That's the phone that the Space Command listens to the show on. They actually have monitors that they can watch the show, and they actually interact on Friday.
They're using Singular Wireless.
They're using wireless for sure. They don't have to worry about.
Somebody said, "Are we in Atlantis in the United States?" But I've heard you talk about this before. You should talk about it again.
Well, Atlantis itself is not. When we talk about, I've studied Atlantis for years. Now, what I used to think Atlantis was a place that existed in somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean. And the Bimini Islands, which are the old structures. Let me see here. What's going on? Let me try to. The Bimini Islands. Let me try this again. Is this working? Here, we'll try. The Bimini Islands, scientists or people that are archaeologists thought that's where the Atlantis was. But what we're going to find out is
roads under the water.
Yeah, but that's not really where Atlantis is. And this is where April has been. They recently on the ship took her to what is Atlantis. It's pretty interesting, and this information comes directly from her being a contactee. So let me see if I can get her back up here. She's on the other phone, I think. I don't know where she is. We'll try it. She's switching phones, but anyway. Hey, Edward, good to see you. She does have new information about Atlantis that I think everybody will find fascinating. If I can, I think she's on the other phone now. Let me see if I can switch it. Did she get here? Oh, there it is. Okay, I think we're going to try doing this here. This should work. Let me bring this down. And there she is. I'm going to bring her up. I'm pressing my buttons too quick. Here we go. All right, now we're going to get her. She's on the other phone, so they can still watch the show. But now they're on this phone.
Okay, yeah. I had to switch phones because I don't know what it is with that phone and our connection, but...
What's going on? But they're on this phone now, too.
I'm on the newer phone, not the one that they connect with.
Okay. But how come I'm echoing in your phone?
I don't know. I don't hear echoing.
Whoa. You hear that?
We're all echoing.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like a concert in here. Yo.
And we're going on a spaceship to Atlantis. I don't know.
Sounded like Commander live from Madison Square Garden.
I'm telling you, folks, if anything beautifully crazy is going to happen, it's going to probably happen tonight. Who's she? Okay, Mahat, who she gave you my information? I'm not sure what you mean. Who she give you my information? I don't understand. Who she give you my information?
Maybe there's try
I'm not.
try rewriting that.
I don't understand. I mean, I can understand a lot of things, but the sentence I don't understand. Let me see
Command,
here.
Commander could decipher a lot of messages, but that one was a little rough.
Yeah. Now let's see what happens. Okay. Let's talk. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
that sounds better.
I know
Yeah.
you can hear me. April, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I had to turn my volume
Okay.
up. Is that better?
Okay. Good. Yeah, we're not having any feedback. There you go.
I'm back on that phone, so I don't know.
I just want to say something to my parents on the ship and the Ashtar Command. Please let the phone not echo so we can actually have April describe what happened in Atlantis, where she went. So we want to bring April into this. When were you taken to Atlantis?
It was 3 nights ago.
3 nights ago.
Yeah, I remember I told you about it, but I
Oh, yeah,
said
a little
I had
bit,
to,
yeah.
yeah, and I had to wait because I needed to kind of process everything.
Yes, and now you've processed it, I
Yeah,
think, a
and I
little
had
bit
to
better.
talk to you
Okay.
guys. Yeah, I had to talk to you
Because
guys first.
people have questions about Atlantis, so could you give a timeline when you were taken on the ship to Atlantis a
It
few
was
nights
about
ago?
two. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning, and
Two in the
they
morning.
came through my back door, and we walked onto the ship this time.
And just let people know that are new to the show, April is what I call a contactee. That's a traditional term that I grew up with growing up in the 60s. And she has had direct contact with our space family. And she has been now about 12 times on the spaceships, right?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about Atlantis and let our audience, a lot of new people here, a lot of our regular viewers, tell us about where Atlantis is and what people don't know right now about
I
Atlantis.
don't know exactly. Atlantis is one of the first space stations that was put into our oceans. There are 7 major space stations for our space families that are underneath the ocean waters, and there are several smaller stations that are down there, or cities that are down there that actual beings live in, and grow their food in and all of that stuff. But so we went down to Atlantis this time, and I
Mhm.
actually met with this whole committee of different beings that represent each space station in each smaller city down there. They had like this whole lineup that was like these tall chairs, and all these beings were like sitting in front of me, and then they got me a chair and they brought it over, and I sat in the chair in front of them, and they were talking to me, but they were talking telepathically to me this time,
Oh,
not like
wow. Okay.
none of them were moving their mouths, but they were talking telepathically to me this
Wow.
time. But they told me some stuff like about their history. Like I didn't know that the Anunnaki were the first Atlanteans. Did you know that?
Anunnaki. I never
Yeah.
knew that.
I didn't know that either.
That's
I don't
interesting.
know. I don't know much about them at all. I mean, I've heard the name thrown around a little bit, but I didn't know that they were actually the first Atlanteans. And
Hmm.
they did work alongside with humans, way
Hmm.
back then. But their technology was so great. Like they learned how to harvest their own energy from our planet's like natural energy, and
Mm.
there's like I guess they have several. Well, I've seen some of them, but like I didn't know like how extensive it is. But they have like
Hmm.
a lot of pyramids that are underneath our ocean's waters that
Yeah,
they
that I'm
use
aware of. Yeah.
to communicate and to draw energy off of. But they
Hmm.
also have these different machines that look like giant coils, but they like bring in like energy from like the ocean moving and stuff like that. Like they know how to
Wow.
harvest energy just from our natural resources without disturbing our natural resources. It's really
Ah,
cool
very
how they
interesting.
do it.
So
But
they do all kinds of they use
Like Tesla
like
type
Tesla,
stuff.
yeah.
I don't know
Like
what that
James
is, but yeah.
Tesla, yeah. So what James is saying, Tesla. Do you ever hear of Nikola Tesla?
I've heard of him, but I don't really know what he
Well,
does.
what James is talking about, Nikola Tesla, he had many patents. He created free energy, but the government took his patents away, and they didn't want him to provide that. He was way ahead of himself, and his Nikola Tesla had created free energy that would have been free all over the world in his time period, but the government suppressed it and they took his patents away.
I wonder if he wasn't a starseed and didn't get his memories back, like if he wasn't an
Oh,
engineer starseed.
oh he was Nikola Tesla definitely was a star seed. Yeah,
I wonder.
yep,
I think he was given divine knowledge for sure.
yeah. He was, he was.
That's kind of cool. But so yeah, so I guess they used to work alongside of humans, but humans as we get, like we were trying to take advantage and gain power by using their technology, so much so that they started creating dark devices and stuff, and could just creating havoc with this stuff with other humans, and trying to take like overpower the humans
Hmm.
were. So they ended up moving their space station. To see, this is where a lot of people got it wrong. Like the history books say that
Okay.
Atlantis fell into the ocean and was destroyed. Well, we know, you and I know that it wasn't. That it was it was made into a space station underneath the waters. They moved it underneath the ocean floor, is what they did. And
Mm-hmm.
so they hid it from the humans. They went a place where they knew the humans couldn't get to and couldn't steal any more of their technology.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one thing that they had shared with me, but I didn't realize like how much the Anunnaki like really worked with the mer people and stuff like that underneath the ocean floor. Like they're like the bigwigs under there.
Yeah. And so what you're saying is for people new here, like the archaeologists trying to find Atlantis, they're never going to find it
No, it's
because
off dimension.
we were distorted. The history that we've been given about Atlantis is totally, completely distorted. It's misinformation. So she was taken to where Atlantis is now, and she got to go there. And it's definitely not where scientists are looking for it. They're never going to find it.
Commander, Atlantis and Lemuria are two different things, right?
Right. Lemuria on the Pacific
Okay.
was a beautiful civilization that was like Atlantis, very advanced. And what used to be Lemuria, and I don't know I only know is that the Lemurians are in a city called Telos, which is in the mountains in Mount Shasta, deep in the mountains. There's an entrance, and way in the mountain of Mount Shasta lies what they call the city of Telos, which are the Lemurians, whatever happened to their specific location in the Pacific, they are now in the city of Telos. If you've never heard of Telos, it's an actual real city. This woman who's an author, Diane Robbins, who I knew from upstate New York years ago, she wrote books about it, and I don't know if her books ever got nationally or international, but she wrote some beautiful books about the city of Telos. And the Lemurians went to whatever happened in the Pacific, they ended up building their city in the inner earth in the Mount Shasta.
So no Atlantis war. There wasn't a war with Atlantis
Well,
or anything like that.
the thing I used to hear for a number of years that there was a conflict, and I think that's when they had what April's talking about is that the humans that took the power used it for no good, and they started to have conflict with the Lemurians, which were very peaceful, and it ended up, and that probably is part of the history. I don't know if the people that moved Atlantis ever talked about that. I don't, and I'm not
That's
sure
what they
that
were talking about. They were talking about a war that had happened because they were trying to use it to make basically war weapons with it, with their
yeah,
technology. So that must be
yeah, and
what James is
they
talking
yeah
about. Hmm.
yeah, so these humans that had the technology misusing it that the Anunnaki had created, they were
Yes.
misusing it, and that was the conflict. There was a conflict between Lemuria, which didn't start it, and these humans, not the Anunnaki, but the humans that were given this technology that were misusing it. They not Anunnaki. What you're saying, April, is they took back the all the technology
Yeah.
and they moved Atlantis in a deep area away from all these people, and they
Right.
couldn't use the technology anymore. And that's
Exactly.
why the Lemurians had to go, because their civilization was forced out of the Pacific area into Mount Shasta, where the city of Telos is.
Right. And so that what they were talking about is one of the reasons why they had brought me down there was because you know how but they were talking to me about the secret nuclear testing that they've been doing under the ocean waters. Well,
Hmm.
they had done recent nuclear testing next to by one of their cities, which was a
Oh my
huge
God.
concern for them. So they wanted people to know about it. So that's why they brought me down to tell me this, to bring it up so I could tell people about
Mm.
it.
And people don't know, like you're saying, April. When you were taken on the ship to Atlantis, and there are the space cities that exist in the depths of the ocean. Correct? Is this in
Yes,
the Pacific
there's
or the
seven.
Atlantic Ocean area?
They're all over the world. There's
All over the
seven
world.
major states, seven major space stations underneath the ocean, but they're all spread all over the world, and then several smaller cities that are all
Hmm.
over the place.
So one of the cities was almost affected by what our government is doing, folks. Is totally, it's totally outrageous. They're doing secret nuclear testing in our oceans, which are they don't. They're just doing it. Are they doing it knowing that there are space cities in the depths of
No,
the oceans?
they have no idea that these cities are down there, but they're doing it. They're doing it, and it's affecting them. It's affecting the mer people like really
Mm-hmm,
bad.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's affecting a lot of their kind.
So the governments on the surface don't know that there are actually bases in our oceans of star people that are there now, and they're basically coming.
You don't think that they know that there's because like I was talking to a guy in the Navy, and his statement was, "You see more stuff coming out of the ocean than out of the space."
Yeah,
Right.
So they got to know something's
They,
down there.
they probably know something, maybe. And, it's really possible they do know. I mean, part of my consciousness is that, they don't know everything, but, obviously they might not know the exact locations of these cities. But the whole thing with the nuclear testing in the oceans is really totally wrong. And the fact is, we had a ban on nuclear weapons growing. I mean, at some point, we had a nuclear test ban, and I think that was pretty much not true because I said, oh, we're not going to do nuclear testing anymore. And yet they're doing this stuff in the oceans. And the public around the world doesn't even realize our planet's being shot down with nuclear. However, they're getting the radiation with these testings. It's radiating the waters of our planet, which we live on, which is
Yeah,
totally
that's why
outrageous.
the whales and the dolphins are
Yeah.
yeah.
scrambling, and all the animals are
Well,
their
Yeah, they're
patterns are
done.
getting messed up.
the dolphins were actually not originally from our planet.
Hmm.
Dolphins came from outer space.
Yeah. I
Remember, I
read
told
some.
you about that in that movie. Remember, Commander, where the
Yeah.
dolphins all left Earth?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of history about the dolphins. I read stories years ago in my studies that the dolphins were originally humanoid, but they were able to transform their beingness into the water. I mean,
Yeah,
from the history
they
that I
actually used
studied.
to have legs and stuff. This is what they told me. They actually used to have legs and stuff, and then they um transformed themselves to be able
Right,
to adapt to it. They adapted to our waters is basically
right.
what they did.
And and
But
Yeah,
big,
if you look at their bone structures, they look like squat humans. Like if you
yeah,
yeah,
they
just look at
kind
the
of do.
bones of a dolphin, they look like their hands are like tucked in and their legs are
Yeah,
tucked
yeah,
in.
and dolphins are events. And also, one of the people here, Big Git, says, I heard the Ashtar Command had destroyed all nuclear weapons on Earth, but obviously not. Well, the Ashtar Command is not always aware of all these things. They're aware of it now. Of course they are. But these are secret situations where governments have been doing this, and not all of it, all the surface weapons of nuclear silos in the 60s and 70s were shut down, or else this planet would not be here right now. We wouldn't be talking. Um,
Well, I mean, they got that video of the spacecraft knocking out a nuclear launch. Remember that from
yeah,
back in like the 70s?
yeah. Grace is saying dolphins are fierce, and dolphins are not only fierce, dolphins are so highly intelligent. You
hmm
know,
they
they
really
really
are.
are.
They really
And
are.
they're telepathic. They're telepathic.
They are.
Oh
They
yeah.
are. Like I got to James. I really did get to talk to a couple of them because when I the time before last, I went. They took me to an underground thing in Alaska, and it was like right next to the ocean. It was like the ice caves, but there was a space station that was underneath this like set of ice caves, and we went down, and
Mm,
there was this clear like it was made of ice, but it was like a thick it looked like a big thick window, but it was completely made of ice. And
mm,
I got to talk to two octopus, giant octopus, who came and spoke to me. What I was doing was I was hearing their testimonies. Like they were coming to talk to me about like how the nuclear testing that they're doing is in the water now, and it's causing them to be sick, like really sick. Like it's causing growths on them, and they've had to bring like several pods of like whales and stuff to the space people to get healed, because they have nowhere else to go to get healed, because the nuclear waste is causing them to have growths like in their blowholes and stuff. It's really, really bad. And then
mm.
all there was like a bunch of mer babies that ended up being unalived and being washed up on shore because of the nuclear testing that they're doing. A whole bunch of them, I guess, got washed up on shore, and they tried to collect up most of their
Hmm.
unalived ones, but the government got their hands on a few of them.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Um, someone's asking,
You
and I
know,
don't know the
Commander,
answer.
I never told you guys this. I remember looking at a newspaper article from like the 1800s, and they had a picture of a mermaid in the newspaper. And I was thinking to myself, I said, there's no way in the 1800s did they have like makeup technology and, you know, all that kind of stuff to
Hmm. Hmm.
fake
Yeah.
what they were showing. And, you know, back in the day, they used to like cart them around in like the freak show and like the circus and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah. Yep. Yeah, I remember those things. There are a lot of stories about that, the freak shows, and they did do that kind of stuff, unfortunately,
Yeah,
which
I
was.
believe that because you see some of those pictures from the 1800s, not just
Hmm.
of the mermaids, but you know some of the other creatures they had, and
Right.
it's like there's no way they could have faked those.
No, it is. That's there's no way it could, because they didn't have the technology for AI photos or CGI in the 1800s. They couldn't do any of that. You know, they'd have to be. There's no way they could do that. But it's just amazing as we're talking about all this, the revelation, the fact that all these things, as always talked about Earth. When we talk about the inner Earth, when we talk about Agartha network, when we talk about the subterranean cities, and when we talk about now the space bases that April has been taken to on the spaceship physically, we I've always known that we've had a lot of the star people living in cities beneath the really deep depths of our ocean. That's what do you think? Sometimes spaceships come out of the oceans. Where are they coming from? They're coming from some of those star bases.
Right. Like they showed me like the mer people, for instance, like their planet was dying, so they've been bringing them here in these little jelly pods that are connected inside of these ships. They're like big giant jelly sacks is where the little babies, their mer babies, come from. And they've been shipping them in, but with spaceships they've been bringing them in, a couple of hundred of them at a time. Now, not all of them completely make it through the trip, because they are babies. They try to get them all here as quickly as they can, but they have that one place where they took me to, where they showed me all those different caverns with the different species of mer people that they have down there. And they put them in different things. Like some of them were stuck to like these weird cave walls, and then other ones were stuck to these like giant seaweed, like they were stuck underneath, almost like frog eggs. It was really cool. I got to see like a couple of them come down, like they fall into these big pools of special water that they have.
Hmm. Yeah, and to learn about these things, which is fascinating. It's just amazing what we've done, and we don't know half of what I've always said on for years. If humans only knew half of anything about our oceans, the depths of our oceans on our planet, we really know very little about our own planet. It really is amazing that we don't know about the galactic history of our planet. That's the thing. We
So
really
what?
don't.
So what they told me was is that they have decided that they as the committee had talked to me, they had decided that that since Atlantis was the first space station down, is going to be the first space station up. They're going to bring it back up onto land, and they're going to be helping us with their technology, with their energy. So they're going to help
Mhm.
us and teach us how to
That's what I've been waiting
energy.
for. That I've been waiting for Atlantis to pop out of that ocean.
When we have big contact, they're going to be coming up out of the water, ocean waters, and coming it back up onto land shortly after.
Yeah,
That's
and
what they're
just
telling me.
to give people some indication, when you did go to Atlantis, it was probably about a week or two ago, wasn't it? It was a lot longer than 3 days ago. You were in the
Oh no,
hospital.
this I just went to Atlantis just last 3 days ago. They brought me back down.
Was that before you were in the hospital or after?
This was after the night,
Oh,
right
after the
after.
hospital.
Yeah.
Okay, just to give people, so she wasn't in the hospital when she went. It was when she was home back on her property. That's when they took her to Atlantis. Just to be clear for people that are confused. Now, hopefully, you're deconfused because since there was one person asking, so I want to just clear that up so there's no confusion. It was after she got
And it
back
doesn't
from the
matter,
hospital.
and it doesn't matter where she was because
Right. It really doesn't
these
matter.
things can happen.
Yep. It doesn't matter at all, actually. Um, so yes.
It could
So
be
as
happening
you're
telepathic too, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely. I mean, they can have. They can. I'm sure they telepathically communicate. Well, they don't have to do that. I get telepathic messages half of my life, in my adult life. That's how I communicate with the Ashtar Command through telepathy.
Well,
That's how I can.
they've taken me through the bedroom wall once, and then they took me through the bathroom once, and then they took me through
Yeah.
the back door, and then they had that rift come in my kitchen, and then
Now
I
you
walked.
know I'm gonna joke on you about that bathroom portal,
Listen,
James
April.
James
he
will.
doesn't joke with me, and the commander, he's like,
you
"Well, they
know,
come." He
you
goes, "I
know
hope
I'm
I'm
gonna
not in the
mess with you
bathroom."
about that
He,
one.
he will
Listen,
joke with you about that in a love and light.
that
It
I
is
know,
interesting.
but that was, I mean, because I we had a whole conversation about that.
Right.
They won't be going into the bathroom anymore because like it's
Yeah.
legit. I was just getting off the
they,
toilet. I'm
they,
not
they
even
have no
joking. I was
they
so
have no
embarrassed.
perception of human.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they're
don't
not like
understand
us.
about that.
Like, oh, the water's spinning backwards to the toilet.
They
What's
came
going
through.
on?
They
What's
came
going
through
on,
my
right?
shower too. Thank God I had just gotten
Yeah.
my pants up. I was
Well,
embarrassed.
it's a good thing. One of those Ashtar Command people didn't say, April, I've been on the ship for hours on our time. I would like to experiment with taking a shower. Can you please get out of the bathroom? Let me take a shower. I'll put my spacesuit back on, and then I'm going to go back on the ship.
Commander was worried. He was like, "Well, what if I'm in the bathroom?" He goes, "Would they just come and take me?" I was like, "No, Commander, they wouldn't do that." But then they did it to me. We had to have a whole
Yeah.
conversation about those rooms.
Commander,
I
they're gonna
I will
go
not.
get Commander
I
in the
will.
bathroom, and he's
Right.
gonna
They
say,
probably
"This
would,
is what a real human looks like."
right?
This is what a real. I will definitely not be in the bathroom when they physically invite me on the ship. I
Commander's
will
like,
make sure.
you
I'll
need
be
to
in
be
the
taken
living
by
room
your
right
side.
here in their living room. And I won't even probably be live. I'll be sitting here meditating or something. Who knows? Jules is saying we have some interesting questions. She's saying, how do you meet one? How do you meet the Ashtar Command, Jules? Uh, Good quality. I can answer that. In my answer, it's going to be when the timing is right. It's just going to be when you meditate, connect, ask to connect with your star family. If you do meditation, I don't know, but I think when you do that, I think the dynamics of contact for you will exist. And it really does exist for everybody out there. You have to be really focused on your inner reflections, meditation, Christ consciousness. And also, if you're trying to figure out where your star family is, through meditation is the best way to do it. If you're new to this, Jules, it's a good question. It's not so much meeting one. It's there are space people from other worlds that you might be connected with, and you just have not met them yet. So it takes time.
But Commander, remember we were talking on the phone about it. It's not about how like making the contact with the ETs. It's
Right,
about getting your vibration there to where they're
right.
just gonna come visit you.
Right. So vibrational patterns. Humans tend to have, good point. a lot of billions of humans are vibrating not at the level of where, let's say, the star people are. And then there are many people, and some of you in the room are vibrating at that level, and some of you new here are wondering, how do I vibrate at that level? You really have to do inner reflection and meditation and really focus on building up your vibrational patterns in your human form in order to eventually have contact like that. They need, okay, let's see.
And
Let's
you
see what's
gotta
over.
have a sense of humor because they don't like people with no sense of humors.
Yeah. Jules says, my ears have been ringing a lot lately. Um,
It's
and
the
that
Schumann
could,
resonance.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. Do you hear them or see them in your third eye? Anybody want to take a shot at that question?
I don't
Do you,
see them in my third eye. I see them
I
when
don't,
I see them when they come, or
yeah, yeah,
like the commander, he communicates with them telepathically.
yeah.
Right.
So it's
I
not going
think
to be,
everybody's contact is going to be different, right? Because
yeah,
like my third eye is like the antenna. Like I'm using it to receive information. Other people are looking through their, third eye. There's so many different ways that spirituality works
right.
amongst
Yes.
different people, and that's why we got to take
And
our
everyone's
own
at
little
different levels. You
medicine.
know, as human
Yep.
beings, we're all at different levels. I don't suspect out of 238 people here that everybody's at the same level of each of us that are in this room or any of you. I think everybody's at different levels. And the beautiful part that is there's no judgment. If you're not at the same level of my consciousness, I don't judge you for it. I just know that you'll eventually get where you need to go. Chrissy's saying, why couldn't you speak to them the other night? I'm truthfully confused. What do you mean, why couldn't you speak to them the other night? Can you kind of get more specific what you mean? I'm telling I
Well,
communicate with the command
command
all the time.
they're talking about the other night, and I was talking to Commander about this, guys, and it's like with the rapture and religion, like we never want to question when that's
Right,
going to happen, and with contact, we're going to be a little more careful about the expectations because
right.
these things are not planned. They are not like scheduled. It just happens,
Yeah, you can't plan
and
it.
that's how
You
we're
never
gonna
can.
go with it going
Yeah,
forward.
yeah. You can't plan when you're going to be visited by a star person. It's not like, okay, after dinner would you come here about maybe 8:30 for dessert. It doesn't work. In human mind levels, that's the way it works. But in off planet levels, they don't operate that way. If the space people come to visit you, they're going to just come and visit you. You have no control over the timing of that.
Right, just
You
for
know,
instance, like my first contact my very, very first contact, it was like 3 o'clock in the morning and they came to my front door. And when I opened it, there was a 7 foot tall being there. It scared the holy bejesus out of me. I slammed the door in his face.
He said,
I
"Excuse
remember
me,
that
have you
story.
heard the good word of the Ashtar Command?"
No, he said,
I
"Excuse
love.
me, do you have any Grey Poupon?"
And if do you have any like kosher hot dogs with a mustard? I'll always remember the story when April shut the door in the space person's face, and then she opened the door and they weren't there anymore.
I realized who it was. I realized it was a space being. I opened the
Right,
door. I was like, "No, no, come back."
that's right.
Oh my god, I can't believe I did that. I like slammed the door on that poor baby's
Excuse me,
face.
miss. We just moved in next door.
Right. So someone's asking, how was a date set if you can't plan it? So can you explain what you mean by how was a date set if you can't plan it in regards to what? What is the specifics on that question? I think it's Ava Lira, I think is Ava Lira. Yeah. I do see it. See, it's okay. Let's see here. So everything, from a human perspective, the mind will say, why isn't this thing, how come this is this and this is that? So you have to look from a nonlinear perspective. So if you look from a linear perspective in your mind, the mind's going to say, well, wasn't this, why wasn't this, why wasn't this? The 3D mind I've always taught in my life with people is the worst part of elevating people to understand this, because the 3D minds can say, what about this, what about this, what about that? When you go into the spiritual level of your being, all this will make sense to you. But when you're operating from the questions that you have come from the mind, the understandings you have will come from the center of your being, right? So when you operate, look at the center of your being, and you'll find the question you're asking, you'll find the true answer within you from the center of your being. That's my answer.
Hey, Commander, I gotta hop into the rabbit hole for a minute, but I'll be back in a
Okay,
little bit.
no problem. Thanks, James, for coming on, and we're glad you got to talk to April and be here. And let's see, the truth says, I don't know if the truth is kidding around. I think the truth is laughing. So I'm taking that the truth is just, I think we're going to, I'm not sure if the truth is, I'm not quite sure where the truth is, but we will do a mute for 5 minutes as the moderator of the show. It could be that they're just, I don't know where they're coming. Sentences are hard to read. Shelley Stardust, live from your heart, live from your heart, not your mind. Our minds can be deceived, our hearts cannot. That's right. And that's one of my teachings in my workshops. You have to operate from the heart, not from the mind. The mind's going to screw you up, going to mess you up, going to trip you up. And if you think from the mind, you're never going to get yourself elevated to being at that frequency, vibrational pattern to make contact with anybody, because you're going to keep having your mind interfering with your heart, and it doesn't work that way. And I can tell you, as a person here to bust the matrix, I will challenge people's minds all the time, because the mind is really the enemy of your enlightenment. It's good for going to the market, getting gasoline at the gas station, if you have an electric car, making sure it's charged up. But, leave the mind out of your spiritual cosmic enlightenment, because it's not going to help you. It's just going to interfere with you. It always does. And let's see here. So Ava keeps talking about a spiritual nonlinear. She says, a linear date was set for what? When was the date set? There was no date set. There's going to be, in the next year and a half, there's going to be more intergalactic contact happening with the planet. There's no date set. There's going to be, within 6 months, 4 of us with April that will be contacted to go on the ship, Ava, if that's what you're asking. So I'm trying to kind of understand what, just in the sake of conversation, when you say a date was set, I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. Is the heart your intuition? Yes, the heart is your intuition. The heart is the center of everything. And in human life, we go in the mindset, not the heart set, not the intuition. My intuition comes from, any intuition comes from the heart, what I call the spiritual center. And if we don't operate from the spiritual center, we're going to get all messed up as human beings, which is what happens.
Right. And Commander, speaking the truth, they really want us to heighten our vibrations, especially, the love that we have for ourselves and the love that we have for one another. That's
Right.
really important, guys, like that we do that. That was one message that they clearly gave me to bring to everybody.
And also, Zoom is saying, do you have workshops on your planet? Say your car broke, do they fix it in a ship? Well, there won't even be a need to fix any car on a ship. If you're on a ship, there's no need for cars on a ship. There's just going to be people. I think, if I understand your question, when people do have contacts and they go on the ship, it doesn't matter whether you have an automobile or whatever. That's going to be in your driveway or wherever you are. It's going to be exactly, that's what's going to happen. Let's see. AI 70 years advanced. Enjoy your space show, black holes and all. Let's see here. I'm just reading comments. Brim says, been to Atlantis many times. It's underwater. So Brim has been on my show. He's also a contactee, and he's been there as well. CC, hello?
That was the other thing, is they said that they were bringing Atlantis up onto the land because they were the first ones down, so they're going to be the first ones coming back up.
Right.
And they're going to bring it up.
Oh.
They're going to be helping and training us on their technology to get free energy, which is going to be absolutely amazing.
And for now, I understand the thing, Chrissy and Ava. Now I understand what you're saying. April 13th was not a contact event. April 13th was a CE5 event that we had planned. We had some weather situations. There were 10 of us out there in New England where it was really kind of cold, and we all came together from different places, and we had a beautiful event. So I just let people know we are holding an event on the weekend of May 25th. I haven't made the video yet. We're going to be gathering in the apple orchard, and it hopefully will be a lot warmer. And we probably will have a much larger gathering. So for Chrissy and Ava, we have already set a date for May 25th, and we will be broadcasting it live too, just so you know. So I do understand when you say date was set, you get a little bit confused as you were talking about. So the weekend of May 25th, the 25th of May is a Saturday. May 24th is a Friday, I believe. So yeah, we'll be gathering at the orchard on that week. You'll see me post something here in the next few days on TikTok and also on my Facebook page. We're doing good, Woody. Let's see here. Okay, I think we're going to do this for this whole thing here. And let's see. All right, Memorial Day weekend. Yep, Memorial Day weekend. And it better be sunny out. Waco gal, welcome to the show. And hopefully we'll get Johnny up here. Johnny, it'll be a lot warmer. Hopefully, depending on situations, hopefully we can get all of us together. Well, I'll be there. April's going to be there. We're going to have, hopefully, everybody that we need to have there, plus our greater group of the Ashtar contact group. Just to let people know we haven't done any video promotions yet, but we're going to be doing it. And the commander is the commander. And so I work in Ashtar Command mode, and I'm now working in Ashtar Command mode from now on in my Ashtar mode on my radio show. I always have, but I'm really going to be out there. You know, if you've never seen the commander on my show Encounters be in the Ashtar Command mode, you'll see me operating at a different energy here constantly. So it's a good thing I am in that mode. I'm downloaded so much. And what else can you say about Atlantis? And if anybody has any stories they want to tell regarding sightings that they've had, any encounters, if you had visitations from star people, we'd love to hear your stories. You have to have 200 followers, and that's for audio, 1,000 for audio and video, and we'll be happy to bring you up. The protocol of my show is you have to be over 18, no drugs of any sort, no drinking, no smoking of any sort, no foul language of any sort, and we'll bring you up here and we can hear your story. We love to hear people's stories out there. So I'm sure some of you have had contact or had sightings. Let us know, and we'd love to bring you up here. So what's going on here? Just I have a fly flying around here. So is there anything else that we should say about Atlantis?
Oh no, I wanted to tell you about the council that they had in there and how beautiful that the space people were down there. But I wanted to also tell you about the Anunnaki that I didn't know that they were the original Atlanteans, and I thought that was really cool. I thought you would enjoy that. Then they talked to me about the energy, and that they were going to be bringing up their the whole space station back onto land, and training, like when the shift does happen, they're going to be training humans to be able to make that that technology, and how we can utilize it for our planet, so we don't have to keep paying for, well, they didn't say paying for, they don't really understand about that, but they used a different word, but I don't want to say that on TikTok.
No, but heaven while we're talking heaven, I do see you have a question. I'm trying to multitask here. River Blue, we'll get your question too. I see sometimes we don't see the questions, but Heaven Torres, please give me your question and we'll try to answer it. River Blue, we'll get to your question after that. So Heaven Torres, what is your question? Then River Blue. So we're not trying to ignore any questions. I'm trying to listen and also look at the comments here. So give us your questions and we'll try to answer them for you. I am looking at the comments here. So Heaven, what's your question, Heaven? Sometimes with the TikTok, it doesn't show the question. It's really weird. Let's see. Heaven, are you there?
I think she's typing.
Okay, maybe she is typing. I've had some when I was younger, also in TKC. Oh, about the pyramids showing up under the ocean. So she wants to know about the pyramid. Good question, Heaven. She would like to know about the pyramids under the ocean. You want to talk about that?
Sure. So there are several pyramids underneath the ocean waters, and the pyramids are actually they use for communications with with other space stations off planet or other ships off planet. They also use it for energy. They utilize it to harvest our natural energy that the Earth creates, like from our what one of the things they explained to me is like just the natural movement of our ocean helps create energy, and they use that and harvest it into these pyramids that creates the electricity that they use in their ocean cities. It's actually pretty amazing how they do it.
Yeah, and we have all these pyramids, Heavenly, that a great question that exist that are activated in all parts of the world. Yeah, another that's keeping up to date with people's comments. Jay Coolcat says, I saw a merperson catching fish alongside with dolphins.
Yeah, they hang out together.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
actually do. They're actual great friends. They hunt together. Thank you so much, honey. She knows that's my favorite. I love I love the ocean. Like you don't
Yeah.
even understand. It's a big thing part of my life.
And Mighty Max says, so power of flow tech. Let's see here. So I caught up with all the comments. So far, I think, and again, we're trying to multitask and answer your questions as I see them. River Blue says, I was asking about the Galactic Federation. Um, I can answer that question, and then I'll turn it over to April. The Galactic Federation, in a sense, is part of the Ashtar Galactic Command, which I work with. I've been
Mhm.
working with the Ashtar Command since I came to Earth. Even though I was a kid, I didn't know what that word meant until I got older. The Galactic Councils, these different groups, the Galactic Federation. I think it's, let me go back to it. They're all part of the Ashtar Command, which really is the overseer of every galactic grouping of light. It's the Ashtar Command. So when you think about the Federation, don't think about the Federation River Blues. Think about the Ashtar Galactic Command, which is like the United Nations of planetary peaceful worlds beyond Earth. If that helps you with what you're mentioning about the Galactic Federation. Let's see here.
Yeah, the Ashtar Command oversees everything. All of
Yeah,
the
it basically
underground.
does. It basically does. And, my connection with that started when I met Athena, who doesn't have this medium. She's in her 70s. We met years ago. She lived in Sedona. Explay, good to see you. And I had to know about this person. I saw her in Sedona Journal writing articles many years ago. I said, who is this Ashtar Command Athena? And she had known all the people at Giant Rock, all the contactees that no longer are living on Earth. They went on Venusian spaceships, they said, and the humans would pick them up on the spaceships and take them outside of Earth, and they'd come back with information for the planet. It was quite amazing.
Did she talk to you about her being a history keeper?
No, she on off planet. She is married to a being called, she's married to Athena. Athena is married to Ashtar. So Athena, I don't know if I have a picture I can show you of Athena. I'll have to do that some other night. But they are married to each other. She lives on Earth, Ashtar Athena. That's how she got her name. But off planet, they are two separate beings that are, in sense, they what we call marriage. They Athena and Ashtar are a couple. They are married to each other.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yep. So it's pretty interesting.
That's actually
So,
really cool.
yeah, and my cup of tea says, has the New World Order been stopped? The old New World Order, however you want to define it, a lot of these things are basically crumbling. Their times are numbered,
Hmm.
um, pretty much. Um, and Mighty Max says, did you say humans were taking humans or taking others on ships? Uh, no. What we're saying is, I don't know where that came from, Joker Shaman. uh, there are people that are being invited around the world. I'm pretty sure, even though we don't have any knowledge of who they are, there are people that are now ready to be taken on the Ashtar ships who are going to be doing exactly what we're going to be doing together as a group here, the 5 of us, which is to bring back information. And the star people are selecting those people. They're not selecting each other. They're being selected all over the world. And this is the timing of it. So to answer your question, there are spiritual humans, like the people that are awakened, the spiritual humans, not just any human out there in a city or town. Those that are awakened souls that are in that level of frequency are being taken to the ships to be guided with information. And you're going to see a lot more of that happening pretty much all over the world. Commander, do you believe men have been on the moon? Do I believe that we've been on the moon? I would say that we have been there, that we have actually have been there. Our contact with the DoD last year, there's a lunar base on the moon that has 4 out of 5 active buildings. So we already are on the moon. On a part of the moon, we do have some bases there. I'm not talking about the space people. I'm talking about our secret space program has some bases there. Good, Mighty Max. Mighty Max says, "Oh, okay." Dolphin One says, "You did say humans. You just twisted your words." Dolphin One, when you say I twisted my words, humans, can you go back to what I said? Because I'm saying a lot of things here, and my mind is pretty rapid. So please tell me what I exactly said, and I'll clarify that. Okay. Brim says, "I go on a Celestial Council ship." So please rephrase whatever the comment was, and I will answer it. Honey McDonald says, "I believe we'll have councils of light workers all over to guide us, but not to rule over us." That's right. You're absolutely correct. I'm just trying to get a clarification on whatever I said before, because I'm trying to read everyone's comments. So I'm going very quickly to the next thing.
They actually have crystal healers up there that are like doctors. And they strictly work with like crystals and things like that and natural healing on the ships. And I do believe that some of the Reiki healers are star seeds, and I believe that some of them, their star seed self or their star being selves that are on the ship now, waiting for waiting for you to come back to your human or to your space body. I do believe that some of you that are down here now or that are doing the Reiki healing and stuff are actually crystal healers on the ships.
Yeah. And so the person says, let me see here. Mighty Max says, yeah, I would choose low hertz music to balance when you're in high frequency. Seriously, I float now, they're saying. You said humans picked up humans. No. Who picked up humans were the star people. So let me rephrase that. And I'm sorry if I said humans, that's not what I meant to say. So Dolphin, here's to answer your question more specifically, the star people are Ashtar Command people, which are people, humans like us. They are human in form like us. They don't look like monsters or big-eyed ETs or whatever. They are, in fact, humans that are spiritual beings from other planetary worlds. So they are human. But they are star people that have picked up people on their spaceships to do mission work.
Do you have any of your pictures, Commander, so they can see what these space people look like?
And Dolphin One, you just confused your words. You meant space pets. No, I didn't mean space pets. I have no idea where you're going, Dolphin One, but I have a feeling that you're not getting it. Do I have any pictures of what now?
Of the Ashtar Command people, so they can see what they.
Yeah, I do have a picture. I'll show you a picture of a painting from Tuella of one of the Ashtar people for people that have not seen it. Let me see if I can show one of those. I think I do here. I'll see if I have the picture of Athena or Ashtar. Here's a picture of Ashtar. This is a painting of Ashtar. This is from a contact book by a woman named Tuella. Tuella is no longer alive anymore, but years and years ago, before the internet, she wrote a book called Ashtar Tribute. This is a painting of the image of Ashtar, And like I said, they're human just like we are. And this is a painting of what Ashtar looked like. And this is before TikTok, the internet, websites, all that stuff. She wrote this book years ago. She's no longer alive. I've got all her books that are now out of print. And this is a picture of what they call Commander Ashtar.
Now these are actually what these beings look like, with the exception of they are 6 to 7 feet, 6.5 to 7 feet tall. These guys are really tall and muscular, and they all look like they're in their 20s, early 20s or late 20s, but they are hundreds of years old.
Yeah.
They don't see time and space the same way we do, so they all look young and beautiful.
Yeah. And Dolphin One, I understand that's not your question, so I appreciate you saying that. But that's a painting that was imprinted on her book of Commander Ashtar. That's what he looks like. And that's why people need to get educated about the space people. The ones that are the star people are human. That they are men and women, their children are human. But the difference between them and us is that they are spiritually more advanced in their consciousness than the human population on Earth.
Right, and the angelic beings that's my family. They look a lot like this, but they have like energy wings, and they have like a glowier skin. But they have like these energy wings that are actually functioning wings that come down off of them. And
Yeah.
these are
So
our command
Lam-
sit on the
and
people.
and Lamont's asking, how did they get to the moon? So our DoD contact last year, before she stopped communicating because she went into a much more security risk position, I have a picture of the base on the moon that let me see if I can find it. If you want to see the base, that is the picture I got was something that was not available to anybody at the time. I'll see if I have that picture. I think I can show it to you if I still have it. Let's see here. Well, here's another picture of Ashtar here. This is without anything. This is another picture of Ashtar I have. This is from the original painting. And see how beautiful they look, right?
It hasn't changed yet, Commander. It's still the same picture.
Yeah, it's a different picture of the same being. That's why I did that on purpose. So let me see if I have the picture of the moon base. Let's see here. I think I don't have it. I used to. I think it's somewhere in here, but I can't find it. But I do have a picture that I saw. Here it is. This is the picture. This is on the moon. This is a top security clearance picture that our DoD contact sent to me early last year when we first got on TikTok. Her name was Shai. There are 5 bases in this structure in this area. We do have a base on the moon that is not talked about by our own space agencies. It's a top secret base. It's on the moon, and 4 out of 5 of the lunar structures are being operational. Okay, this is stuff you're not going to find. You know, you're going to see this right here. I just figured, because based on your question, I want you to show that to you, Lamont. That's an actual picture that was top secret, and this is the actual base on the moon. I don't know where on the moon it is, but we have a top secret base on the moon. Okay, just so people know. Contrary to what the NASA and this, European Space Agency, you won't find this on the internet. If you do, then someone's taken the picture and, shared it somewhere. But let me go back to my other thing here. So that's just some of the stuff here. Let me just go back to my. Oh, I went past it. Let me go back to where I am. Here I am. All right. So that hopefully answers that question. Let me just do this here. And let's see. Waco Gal, we'll bring her up. I know Waco Gal. Waco Gal, good evening. How are you? Whoops. Oh, I guess she didn't want to come up. She was in there. He has wonderful eyebrows. Okay, thank you. Not. You said, let's see. You said humans picked up humans in their spaceships. I meant star people, which are human, You know, I can use the word human star people or star people. It's all semantics. It's all the same thing. Let's see here. Do space people have nights and days or just nights? And there, hey, Bridget, good question. I can answer that. Well, let me just bring my thing over here. Hold on a minute. I would say to answer that question, I need some more lighting. Is that I don't know what happens with my TikTok. The lighting gets kind of weirded out. But there are planets, other planets that have night and day, just like we do. They absolutely do. And have you got any? You have that? Has that been told to you, April, when you've been about the planets where they come from? They have similar nights and days.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, yeah.
Except for one of them said that it's like 3 days and then 3 nights
Ah, interesting.
because of their moons or their moons and suns. And don't ask me to remember what planet it was because I can't remember. They
Yeah,
load me with so much information. I try to remember everything.
yeah. No, it's hard to do that. Mickey says, "I bet they have daylight in the ships if they do need it, like us."
Yes, they
Uh,
do. When I was with them on the last time I was with them for 11 days, they do have like they don't see time the same way we do, but they did have like day and night times on the ships.
let's see. Not just to call amazing. Thanks, Commander. No problem, Lacey. Great question. Um, let's see here. Oh, well, you're welcome, Johnny. I'm just trying to slowly make sure I don't miss anything here. Which are humans? Mighty Max. So the humans are the star people. Star people are human like we are. So if we were to travel from Earth to, let's say, another galaxy and to another planet, we would be considered, in definition, star people because we came from beyond Earth to another civilization that exists like beyond our realm, so to speak.
In other words, he's just saying they're all people. They're not
Right.
one or the other. He's trying to say that they're all people.
Yeah, they're all people. I mean, they're all people. They're humans like we are, but they are star people because they come from a different planet. They come from a different solar system, a different galaxy. So, of course, they are defined as star people. They're still people, but they're star people. Charlotte, what's your question? Hey, Charlotte, good to see you. Can you give me your question? I'm just trying to go backwards and forwards. I don't see your question, but try to present it unless TikTok is filtering out questions here. Yes, they're humans just like us. Yes, exactly. Let's see here. Mel Bell says he's not accurate, brother. Is he? AI? Are you asking is AI accurate? I'm not sure what the question is, Mel Bell. Are Earthlings the only ones who age quickly?
Yes.
I Yeah, we definitely are. I mean, you kidding me? Well, we didn't originally age quickly, but we did go into a lower vibrational pattern, and that's what caused the aging process. Once we get to a vibrational pattern, once the planet transforms into the next level that we're going into now, we will our children and children's children will actually not, when they're 90, they will not look like they're 90, or whatever that is in Earth age. We're going to be actually changing our aging process at some point in this whole thing. Don't tell me when it is because I don't know. But our space families, hey, Yeshua, good to see you, James. Our space families actually live to be hundreds of thousands of years old. And they can look 20 years old, then they can be 2,000 years old. On Earth, because we messed up the planet, it also affected our aging process over time. But we are going to eventually get to, and I don't know the answer, when that happens, we will be able to live a lot longer in terms of what we call lifespan. Our aging process of our skin will not wrinkle up and we won't look like our faces are falling apart. We're going to look, when we're in Earth ages like 100 years old, Earth will still be looking like we're 20 years old.
And they also said they were going to help us with our aging process, because they said that humans weren't meant to age like this. We really weren't. So when they come with their with the med beds and all that stuff, they're going to help us with our aging that we have going on now. So in other words, they're going to help reverse some of our aging that we have going on.
Yeah, Charlotte, I think Charlotte, if you can hear me, I think you're being filtered by TikTok. We're not filtering anything here. Let me see here. It's I've had that happen with other people. They're trying to ask a question, and then when they say I just asked a question, you can see them saying I just asked a question. So I do apologize for whatever TikTok's doing, but it's filtering out some people's questions, and I don't know what the question is.
Kit Kat's excited. She's like, whoop whoop. I know we're going to get our space lifts.
You know. And it's and James, it's good to have you here with us, brother. And my friend James, he's also from the stars. And if you don't know James, he's a wonderful star person. He is amazing. He connects with the galactic orbs from outer space, and he has a great deal of knowledge in that area. He came to Earth with that knowledge, and he's just a beautiful soul. I just want to acknowledge him out there in the audience. Cheryl Brown says, "Guys, I'm going to bed now. I have a lot of pain in my mouth, see you tomorrow." Cheryl, I send you blessings, and I hope you feel better. Let's see here. Let's see here. I'm just trying to catch up, you know, so no one can say that I've missed your question, or I'm not trying to ignore anybody. Uh, Mel Bell, avoid the question. Mel Bell,
Um,
what is the question?
Charlotte, I don't know all the locations of all the space stations underneath the oceans. I don't know where those are. They're dimensional.
D Steele, what's your question? I am scrolling, folks. So as April's talking, I'm scrolling. I'm trying to multitask here. So what is the question, D Steele? I'll try to answer it. As long as it's not filtered by TikTok, I will try to answer. I asked location. Oh, Charlotte, there you go. I asked location of undersea city or on planet. Okay, Charlotte, I do see the question. So I'm going to turn that over to April. Charlotte's asking. I asked location of undersea city on
I just
planet Earth.
answered that.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Yes. I don't know where those are at. They're dimensional. They're hidden.
Yeah.
They just brought me there. I don't know where their locations are. They're dimensional. So in other words, they're half in our dimension and half out of our dimensions, as to not be detected by humans. That's what I can tell you.
And let's see. I need a whole body lift. Trisha North Star.
I know.
I think
Same
we all
here.
do, right? Okay. Blondie says, "Friends with fairies, are your star people beautiful?"
Yes, they are. I'm actually part of the angelic beings. They are beautiful.
Okay. Let's see here. Who wants to come up here? Oh, Ruby. Okay, we're gonna bring Ruby up here. Ruby, good evening and welcome to Encounters. Good to have you with us.
Hi, Ruby.
Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you with us, and welcome to our show here. And what would you like to contribute in our
So,
sharing with people?
so mine was not like an encounter where I like literally was with them or something like that. It was more like
Hmm.
what I've seen. Can I say that too,
Hmm.
or?
Oh yeah, absolutely,
Oh, okay,
absolutely.
so this was in Mexico actually, and Tampico, Tamaulipas, and we literally people has literally seen ships of alien spaceships going under the water, and they're literally like by the water. We know
Hmm.
this for a fact because a lot of people have seen them. But there was this one time that I was on the roof with my cousin, and we both were just up there looking at the sky, right? And this was like plain day, I'm sorry, plain day. And so I noticed that she was looking up, and I was like, why is her neck looking up? I was short. I was around 10 years old. So when I look
Hmm.
up, I literally see um a spaceship as big as a baseball field or a football field
Really? Yeah,
over
like
us. But she was like
you.
hypnotized for some reason, and I as a kid wasn't. I was like,
Hmm.
what? I couldn't believe my eyes. but I know
Right.
this happened for a reason, you know, like this happened,
Yeah.
and she was hypnotized as an adult, but I was like literally seeing this come before our eyes, and she was just like, I don't know if she was memorized or what, but I wasn't, and this thing literally went over us, and like I mentioned,
Wow.
it darkened the whole area, like a baseball area, football area, you
Wow.
know, and
How did you
that was one of the
feel?
encounters that I had.
How'd you, with that first encounter, how did you feel? Like, when I always hear this story, I love hearing stories like this. Like, did you feel like, obviously there were space people on that huge ship. So did you feel a sense of like positive energy when you started coming over you?
I literally felt like magnetism. You know the magnets, how you feel
Hmm.
like your skin lifts. I don't know how to explain it. Like I felt like some gravity. I felt gravity.
Gravity,
Like
interesting.
yeah, gravity like not pulling gravity, but like pushing gravity. Like it will push
Hmm.
you down to like I don't know. Maybe because it
Yeah.
was that big of a magnitude on top of us that was probably I don't know. Yeah, something like that, staticky. There you go. Something like that.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
there was a second encounter where I was same Tampico, Tamaulipas, Mexico, and we lived a house like two houses where my sister's best friend lived. So I was the youngest. They always leave me behind. So I was literally always running behind them. So out of the sudden they went out and I was like, oh, they're leaving me. So I run right after them, right? And they were already like going inside the house. The house, it was a one-store house. So when I got out to the street and I could see them from like probably like, let's see, a block, like a house ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like my house is right here. There's another house,
Hmm.
and then there's another house. The third house from my house. That's where I saw them, and they were literally already going into the house. There was a step, a big step, because over there we used to have floods. So
Yeah.
you had to have that because if not, the water would go inside your house. So I literally saw them, and they were looking up. And then I, out of a sudden, I look up, and there was like the ones that you have right there, exactly like that one behind you, the picture
Yeah.
right on top of them, and they were
Wow.
beaming a light on them, and they were literally like hypnotized looking up. And I was like, I started screaming their name. I didn't get close. I started screaming their name first. I was like, Christina, Brenda. And I didn't walk over there or go over there, but because I was seeing this, and again, I had already seen the other one. So I was like, well, this has to be the same thing as the other one that I saw. So I was like, Christina, Brenda, and they were not moving. They were just there standing hypnotized by this beam of light, like it comes out right there, but stronger, like brighter than that.
Yeah.
And kind of, you know what kind of light it looked like? Like whenever you go into surgery, you know the light they
Hmm.
beam on you? Well,
Hmm.
Yeah.
brighter than that, brighter than that.
Really
So,
brighter.
yeah. So they were literally
Wow.
looking up. And then out of a sudden, I was like, well, they're not hearing me. Something's going to happen to them. So I started running towards them. And when I did that, this thing just boom, took the light and took off. Like, boom, it was so fast, faster than light.
Wow. And what
And
year was this? Can you tell us what year
let's
the
see.
first
So
one was and the second thing you're talking about? What year did that happen?
that was in the within the same year because one I was 9 and then 10. So it was between the
Wow.
same almost 2 years between
Hmm.
those two. And this was
Wow.
when I was right now I'm 36. So you could just imagine it's been a while, but I it's like it
Wow.
happened
Yeah.
yesterday. I would never forget it.
Now, I always am interested in these stories. So I always ask this very straight question. Have you had any visitations since then with star people, space people?
No, I haven't.
Not at all. Not
Not
yet.
no, but
Okay.
you know what? Since I was little, I've been able to experience the spiritual route as well. So I've been able to
Okay.
see like spirits and till now. And
Yeah.
even people, I don't know if you what your beliefs are, but like spirits and people that are literally like possessed or like
Yeah, but
something.
we don't get into paranormal though. We
Oh,
stay away
okay,
from
okay,
that.
okay, okay.
Just so you
Sorry
know,
about that.
just to
But
nip that
anyways, lights.
you didn't know.
Yeah, it's
But
okay.
yes, so I have a feeling you could connect with the star people. I think one of the things when I hear a story like this,
Uh-huh.
um, have you ever thought of like what's going on? Who were they? Where did they come from? When that big ship came over this, as big as a football field or whatever, or
Yeah.
stadium, did you ever think like, there's got to be a reason, right? There's got to be a reason why you saw that. There's not just, they don't just like, yeah, here I am in this place, and all of a sudden this huge ship is over me. And where was this located when it happened?
This was at Tampico, Tamaulipas, Mexico,
In
and
Mexico.
yes, Tampico, Tamaulipas,
Okay,
and we have a big. It's like
Tampico.
Corpus, but in Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's what I'd like you to do. I think this would be fascinating. Do you do any meditation or anything like that?
Oh no, I don't do that.
You don't do meditation. Ah,
No. No, I
it's
really
not a
don't want to
bad.
keep in contact with them. Really, like
You
to
don't.
try to, I wouldn't try. You know why? Because I'm a God, I believe in God and I believe that God created everything. So that's why I will not do that. But then again, I've heard other stories where there's good ones and bad ones, just like humans are. When it comes to this kind of like species, you know?
Well, there's what they call star people. So my friend April is having contact, and we will here in the United States in a
Hmm.
few months. There's 5 of us going on a spaceship. You're probably new to this. You have no idea what we're talking about on this, but we are connecting with our star family, which are beautiful humans, just like you and me. So the stuff you hear, there were what we call negative ETs. They're being taken off the planet Earth, basically.
Hmm.
And that's why I asked you these questions. I do this with all my guests. If they've had any sightings, I said, some of them say, yeah, I've had some beautiful contacts. Others have had the other things happen over like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So as you learn about this, God created not only planet Earth, God created all
Galaxies, you
planetary,
know.
all galaxies and planets.
Amen.
And yes, and you go to the high vibrational levels of consciousness, what we call star beings. So April, say like April, because April has been physically around 12 times now taken on board an Ashtar Command spaceship. She lives up in northern Vermont.
Yeah, no, I was too late to hear her story, sadly, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's
She's so there are we have space family on the ship. Just to give people a background who are new, I have a father. I had a father and mother on Earth that passed away, but
yeah.
we also have galactic parents. And you probably don't know this. You probably do have a galactic parent that is off planet that you're not interested in probably pursuing it, but
Right.
that's okay too. It's free will. But we
Yes.
do have galactic family, and they're beautiful people that exist beyond this realm. And again, it's up to individuals. It's always going to be up to the human person whether they want to free will pursue it or not. If they don't, that's a beautiful thing too. If they do pursue it, they will eventually have that experience as we're going to have in the next few months. We're going off
Yeah.
planet to do mission work, and we're going to physically meet our parents. April's met her parents. My parents are on a spaceship and on the same ship, and it's a whole interesting long story. But the thing is, it is happening.
Yeah.
Just to give you some like quick
Well,
background on
I,
it.
I want to share my mom's experience. Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so my mom, we were same place, Tampico, Mexico. Um, and she was literally sleeping over there back in the days. We didn't have any AC or anything. Over there's like you have to have your
Mhm.
open windows because it's hot, you know? And
Yeah,
we were there and she mentioned to me that she was literally asleep, but out of a sudden the window opened and there was like a big beam of light going into the place where she's at. She felt like she was asleep, but at the same time she felt like it was so real. She said that these things were talking to her telepathical way and telling her to go
yeah,
with them, and
yeah,
they were literally janking on her, grabbing her wrist with so much pressure and heaviness that
yeah,
she was like they were trying to pull her and take her away from where she was sleeping, but she was
yeah,
like no, she couldn't talk, so all she can say, she's like no, she will point at her family, like us laying there, so she will be like no, no, and she will point at us laying down and sleeping. So they were like, well, they understood her, and they were like, okay, we'll leave her, and then they took off. But like she said that there was several aliens, I would call them aliens,
Well, yeah.
and there were.
Well, they're called extraterrestrials or early on
Oh, there
any
you go,
aliens, but
extraterrestrials.
you're
Well,
right. So
what's the difference from
how far?
aliens and extraterrestrials?
Well, aliens is an Earth-based terminology that Hollywood created,
Oh,
and
okay.
major. So there really are no aliens. There are space people, non-terrestrials, light beings, star people, which are the words that we use here. So
Yeah. Oh,
how
okay. Well,
tall?
sorry about
When your mom
that.
had, yeah, that's okay. You didn't know your mom's experience. Tell us how tall they were. Can you tell us a little bit
Yeah,
about
they
that?
were there. She said that they were. I don't know if you ever heard the story of the Dr. Reed.
No. Hey,
Okay, well,
Glenn McNeil, welcome.
he was a
Yeah,
he was a he was a psychologist, and he actually captured one of these because he ran into the woods and actually hit one of them because it killed his dog. I'm sorry, unlived his dog. so it
Yeah.
disintegrated him, the dog. So he hid it and took it home. Well, when I saw Dr. Reed's story, if y'all want to look it up, it's really um, interesting. She said that it looked like that. The ones that, and they were short. They were short but very powerful and strong.
Right. So
And they
they
were
weren't
wearing
like
a black suit, a very tight black suit, like complete suit all over them.
right. So did she get the feeling they were trying to? Now we've interviewed people that have been abducted on this show.
Uh
I've
huh.
been on my radio show for 21 years.
Oh wow.
And then we've had people that have not been abducted, which are having beautiful experiences. So were these beings, did your mom say, were they trying to forcefully take her, or what happened?
Well, they just grabbed her and wanted to take her, but then she's like, no, no, like with her, because she couldn't talk, like I mentioned, so she was just going
Yeah.
like this with her finger, no, 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 and she will
Yeah.
point to her family, and
Yeah.
then I guess they understood, and they were like, they let her go, and she just gasped out of it, and she
Right.
was just like
So what did they
panicking.
look like? You said they were short. Were
They
they
were like
humanoid?
3 foot, 4 foot. No, they were shorter. Four. She said they were very short, and they were
Mhm.
very skinny too, but they were very strong, and they were wearing like a black tight suit, basically
Yeah.
like if they're like, when you go diving, not diving, yeah, diving, like a diver
Yeah.
suit,
Yeah.
but black over their eyes
Interesting.
too, and they were big eyes, big, big, big eyes.
Yeah. So yeah, those would be
Ones
not
with
so much.
Zeta.
Yeah, they're definitely not higher dimensional beings at all. They would be Zeta in the Zeta level.
What are
That's
those? Like, I don't know nothing
Zeta.
about this system.
Zeta. They're advanced in a sense. They have advanced technology, but spiritually they're not advanced at all. They are telepathic and whatever, but they are the ones who have done over the last 30, 40 years, well, 20, 30 years back until early 90s, there were people that were abducted by Zeta Reticuli,
Oh
and
wow.
so that's what they were. That's what they are. Thank you, Mitchell. That's exactly it.
So
You know,
So I have a question. So do you think these beings or extraterrestrials will have a religion? Because they have seen crops that some extraterrestrials talk about Jesus and manifest
right,
into this, right?
right. So let me answer your question in terms of that, because I don't come from Earth. I came from Mars. I'm in the human form of Starseed. Starseed is someone who physically came from somewhere else beyond Earth. So I work with the Ashtar Command, which are Christed beings of light. So when I say that, Earth-based religion, and I teach people that all Earth-based religions are distortions of truth. People go to their church, their temples, they listen to a pastor, a priest, or whatever. That's not where it's at. The fact is that all the beings that are star people from the higher dimensions of light believe in a Christ. Christ that they believe in is not pinned up on a cross and is not, on some wooden plaque in a church. The Christ that they understand is a very cosmic being of light who came to Earth and then left Earth on a spaceship. This contradicts everything that religions on Earth believe in, which is what I do. So I basically bust that matrix up. So yes, the space people that are from other worlds believe in God, but God they believe in is universal, is love, is light, has created planets all over the multiverse beyond our human comprehension. So yes, the space
Well,
people that are enlightened do
yeah,
understand God in a much more extensive way than humans do. Humans
right,
think God lives in a church, and God doesn't live in anything. God is all over the universe.
right.
So the good space beings are Christed beings of light. So the good space beings, they do believe in God, but they believe in God in just a little bit different way than Earth people do.
Right, right, in a very different way. And
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
it's
they're more intelligent than humans for sure.
yeah, humans on Earth are clobbered with a program system that they grew up with, and it's not their fault, but it's been programmed into every aspect of Earth society, and Earth humans have been lied to about the truth of the planet Earth and the truth about our universe and beyond our universe. It's been for generational things. It's been every decade in the current human history. Humans have been lied to about space people, about intergalactic communications, about all that stuff.
Yeah.
Human beings have been totally lied to. One of the things I do in my show here, I'm here to bust the matrix. When I say that, I'm here to bust everyone's belief systems. And I do that I proudly will say, I do it on my radio show for 21 years. I do it here. I'm just here to shake people up in their belief systems. And a lot of people already know what I'm talking about. If you're new to this, you know I'm going to shake up whatever belief systems you had in your religious experience on Earth. Whatever your experience is, you're going to get different things here that you're not going to see on Good Morning America or YouTube or
I don't
anywhere
even watch
else. You know,
TV.
that's good. It's a good
I
thing.
have
That's a
I have
good
one
thing.
question, brother.
Yes.
Um,
Yep. Go ahead.
what do you think they out of a sudden they were denying extraterrestrial the NASA, and then out of a sudden they were like, yes, there is. Let's show, and more started showing.
Right. So in the country of Mexico, they're more open and transparent about the fact that there are space people in
Yes.
Mexico. In the United States, they're not very transparent in this particular country. The Pentagon has a group that studies this subject. People say, when is the government going to give disclosure? I tell people when they come here, I said, don't wait for your government to give you disclosure. If you want the cosmic truth, come to Encounters and talk to some of us here, and we'll give you the truth that the government's not telling you. The fact is, when we go off planet in a few months, we're going to be taken on a spaceship, and we're going to be 5 of us, and that's inclusive with April. And there's 4 other people. Some of them are in here right now. I think 1 or 2 of them might be. We're going to physically be going on an Ashtar Command Ship beyond Earth or into the oceans and other things. We're going to be brought back to the planet. We might be away for 2 months off planet, but it will be like being away for 2 hours on Earth time. So beyond Earth, there is no time. So when we leave, we might be away for what you call an Earth month, and then we're going to come back and provide information that they give us in our mission work to help the planet.
Yeah, I definitely believe that
Yeah,
the
that's what we're going to
extraterrestrials
do.
are trying to save the planet, because I've heard, and I'm not sure how true this is, but whenever the atomic bombs started happening, that's when they
Hmm.
got like, whoa, what is that? What's happening over there? So they started
Yeah,
showing more here. When they started seeing the atomic bombs, there was more UFOs,
yeah.
missions and stuff like that.
And you know why there was? Because the atomic bombs at Hiroshima and Nagasaki, for people that don't understand this, when we shot those nuclear bombs off, the hydrogen bomb, the energy reverberated beyond this planet throughout the universe. It affected other planetary systems, other solar systems, other galaxies, and effectively affected every other planetary system beyond Earth. And that's when the star people came here because we were about to destroy our planet Earth with nuclear bombs. That
Brother,
the scientists, you know,
we are a threat to them, aren't we?
we are a threat to who?
To them. You mean?
We're not a threat to them. The people of Earth aren't a threat to them. The people that are in power are not a threat to them because they have the ability to shut down all our nuclear weapons. When I grew up in the 60s, as I get older, nuclear silos were shot down during the Cold War by the Ashtar Command ships. They shut down all the electrical devices. That's why the planet here is still here for the generations that are young now, people in their 20s and 30s. The reason why you exist now is because the Ashtar Command shut down the nuclear silos on these Air Force bases around the world. That's why the planet's still here. There was a point where there was going to be a major problem. They had the ability to shut down all the nuclear silos. The Astro Command can shut down electrical devices. They can shut down the electrical grid lines in cities. That's what they would do. They would never do that, but they will shut down nuclear missiles, and they can shut down all the nuclear electronics that would make a missile go in the sky. They can dismantle every single nuclear weapon on the planet.
Oh, okay. Do you believe about the myths and the UFO files that they have on where it's saying that there's actually the NASA or whoever it is, it's actually having communication with this being, not beings, I'm gonna say extraterrestrials, and they're doing like, they even have some abducted for weapons and stuff like that, like for them to give
It
technology.
depends where have you heard that? Where are those stories coming from?
I saw files UFO or something like, what were they called? My goodness, they were on Netflix.
On
They were,
Netflix, yeah, the documentaries, yes. So even with that, you have to take a grain of salt with some of that stuff because, in truth, um, a lot of the agencies around the world, the Space Agency, European Space Agency, and all these agencies, they know things that they're not telling the public in their own countries. The Belgian government, has been a little bit transparent about all the activity there, but in truth, really, you're not going to get a lot of truth out of. You're going to get some truth out of these documentaries, depending what they're given information on. But if you really want to know the truth, you have to seek it out yourself. You have to really get yourself interested enough to say, I want to find out who these space people are. Now, there are people that don't want to do it, don't do it. If you wish to really get into it to the point where you're beyond watching Netflix documentaries and things on YouTube, and you want to initiate learning how to make contact with star people, then you need to take that step further, and that's again free will. Not everybody wants to do that, and I completely understand it. But if you want to make contact, then there are ways you can actually proceed to do that with a thing called the C5 app, which is an application on the internet that you would download, and you can utilize that to learn the protocol of peaceful contact. Now, not everybody wants to do it, but if you do, you have the ability to learn it. Some of us here have that app, but in fact, what we're talking about with April, who's been on the ships 12 times with the Ashtar Command, is she didn't need to use any C5. They contacted her directly. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
So, Ruby, well, my suggestion would be start tuning into this show at 11 o'clock every night, and you will learn so much on this show about the different space beings, about what's really going on, about disclosure, all of that, because this show's the place that you're going to really get the truth. This show's going to be where you're going to get most of your correct information.
Yeah.
About the extraterrestrials?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, absolutely
Oh,
correct.
okay.
We
Okay,
talk
well,
about all kinds of subjects on here,
yeah.
and the commander's got most of the people in here have had contact of some sort. You'll start hearing about all these people's different stories, different encounters, and things like that, and you're going to get a lot of truth here.
Yeah,
Uh,
for a moment I thought that I was a little crazy because I was the only one seeing this, but then again, there's other people that have
Definitely
encountered
not.
this.
You were definitely not crazy, and welcome, because
yeah.
everybody in this room has had an encounter or two. Myself, I've been on the ships with my space family like 12 times now.
Your
So
family too?
my
Yeah, she has her family's on the spaceship. They're
I met
from
my space family.
right.
Oh.
I'm
She's
a
a contact. She's a contactee.
Wait. I want to make sure. Are y'all two human?
Okay.
Oh, a
We are
human.
we are star seeds. So what that means is that we our actual it's kind of hard to explain, but our actual essence, our beings that are inside, or what you would call our soul, are actually star beings.
Right. Do you know what a star being is?
No, I never heard anything about that star until you mentioned it. But yeah, I believe in
Yes.
myself. Like you said, it's within our soul.
Right. A star being is a person that comes from the stars and is born with a human family. So we have a biological human family, a mother, a father, we have cousins, aunts, uncles, brothers, and sisters. But we are consciously awakened to the fact that we're not from here. So we have the human experience, just like you. We are human, but we're also not human in the sense that our consciousness and our true essence of who we are comes from beyond Earth. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what we are. We're star seeds, and I kind of get the sense that you may be a star seed yourself.
Yeah,
When
me
you were
too.
just when you were describing that story, about your encounters and how everybody was frozen around you, I think that experience was meant for you alone. I think
Hmm.
you alone were meant to see those ships, and I believe that was your star family coming to get to introduce themselves to you. Maybe not come down directly off the ships, but
Right.
letting you see the ships to let you know that they are there.
Yeah.
But the ships that y'all have been getting on, are they familiar to the ones I saw, or how are they all different?
I don't
They're all
know what your
different.
I don't know what your
I
ships look like, but the one I've been
yeah.
on several different ships.
Now, the ships that April's been on, understand, she's been on what we call Ashtar Command ships. Those ships are part of a galactic grouping of beings, of space people. I always use the word Christed beings of light, men and women, and also their families travel on some of these ships. And they come from many different planetary systems. So, like April was saying, the ship you had encountered that was as big as a football field, I sense from you telling me that story that that could be potentially your star family looking at you and saying, "Here we are." But I also understand you have the free will; you're not interested in pursuing that. But if you had been interested, you potentially could have gradually had contact with those beings that were on that ship. And again, it's free will. I get it. You're not interested in that. At least right now, you're not. But to answer your question, the beings that the space people that are human like we are, they are human like we are. They're taller than we are, the men and women, but they are human. But they are spiritually, consciously at a higher vibrational frequency than most humans.
And they're beautiful. They absolutely are beautiful. These beings are hundreds of years old, and they all look like they're in their 20s.
Wow. Have you ever? Well, you know that actually happens with. Well, I don't want to talk about it because I know y'all don't want to talk about religion, but
No, yeah, we don't get to that whole thing.
so I want to ask one question and one question only when it comes to this. Y'all are not religious, correct?
No, we're spiritual. The religion is the only religion that I teach people here. It's the religion of love. There's to me when we look at earth-based religions, that's the core problem. That's part of the 3D reality of earth-based religions. Once you get rid of all the religions in the world and you focus on God from a universal standpoint, then you'll understand God. But if you're in a religion, it's distorting the truth about God's existence and about the universe and about everything related to it. So no, we're not religious. But
Oh, okay.
the only we're spiritual, which is much more important than having a religion on
Right.
earth.
Oh,
I
you
was
mentioned
brought up
something.
a lot.
Oh,
I
go
was
ahead.
brought up a lot like you in the Catholic faith, and my whole family really religious, and everything was, everything was super bad, and if you were a crazy old lady, you were, brujaha, the whole 9 yards. But I've had experiences through my life that just shook me to my core and showed me a whole different way of seeing things,
Yeah.
especially when it came to religion.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but just like our brother right here told us, he said that it's based on love, and
It
to
is.
me, God is love, and universal, to me, it's Catholic means universal. If you look it up in the dictionary, and it makes sense, that it's
Right.
a
yeah.
universal love. So it makes sense to me. Now I'm more Catholic than ever, hearing this and affirming this, But
Right.
yeah, well, I know that you don't want to talk about this, but yeah, thank you,
No,
and
but
God
and
bless you.
the thing is, like, this is what I want people to learn. On other planets where these people come from, there's no Catholicism, there's no Judaism, there's no Muslims. This is all Earth-based stuff, and this is the things that I try to bust the matrix.
Hmm.
I want to bust. Not that I have anything against anyone. I don't. I want to bust the religion. So Catholicism, I want to break it away. I want Judaism, temples, break it away. Islamic things, break all that stuff off the planet. Just break it down organically to nothingness. Because in truth, once you say I'm not a Catholic and I'm not I'm not a Hebrew, or I'm not a whatever it is you are, I'm not a born again Christian, or I'm not a born again tree or something. Once you start realizing that you're connected with God on a universal level, you do away with your having to have a label as to what you are. The problem with Earth is everybody has to have a religion and everybody has a label on this planet. Where we come from, there are no churches because everyone is in oneness with the Creator, which is God. You don't need a church. You don't need a temple. You're just in oneness with the Creator, which is light, love, and the expansion of all consciousness within the multiverse. And that's the beautiful part of it. When you let go of Catholicism, if that's something you really truly believe in, you can still believe in God, which is beautiful, without the Catholicism or without the Judaism or whatever, and just say, look, I'm totally connected to the Creator. I'm totally a Christed being of light. And you don't have to go to church to believe it. You just have to be that person. And that's the whole point of humanity when the earth changes, is that there won't be any temples and churches. will be all connected as our star people are to the one great creator of all the multiverse, which is a beautiful thing.
Maybe in a way, you're more connected to God than you know.
I mean, in a different way, in
Yeah,
a little bit different way.
definitely. I believe that, brother, because
Yeah,
God is love. God is love,
yeah,
and
It's
He asked
true.
us two commandments: to love one another and to love
yeah,
Him with all our love. So
yeah,
yeah, those are the
absolutely.
two commandments He asked, and you, as long as you're following them, they're good.
And when people fully wake up on our planet and we start having direct contact with our space people, which will be happening before the year 2027, it's going to shatter every religion on this planet. All the religious leaders are not going to know what to do. All the politicians won't know what to do. All the governments won't know what to do. All those institutions that we have created on this planet will fall apart. But that's a good thing, because the fact that they will fall apart, they're no longer necessary, and we will now live with our space family in a much higher level of consciousness.
Definitely, yeah. I
There you go.
follow you.
Well, you've been a great guest. It's almost 1 o'clock, and I think it's almost time to call it a night here. This has been
Well, thank you for
a,
having
a
me.
hey, thank you. You've been a great guest. Everyone, thank Ruby for coming up here.
Thank you,
We loved
Ruby.
having you on here.
I follow you. Hopefully, you can follow me back. I'm like 200
Yeah.
away to be able to do live, so hopefully, people
Oh,
can help me.
really? I think I am following you. Let me take a look here. I'm going to follow you back around. Right now, I am following you, so you're
Thank
you're
you. I
really
appreciate it.
close.
God bless you.
Next time we talk to you, you'll have yourself on camera. So there you go.
Yes, definitely. I'll do that.
All right. Well, I want to have a closing, a comment here. I want to thank everybody for being here. Rod, all my moderators, everybody out there. We love you all. I always end my show, if you're new to it, by saying I love you all, because I do. I work with the Ashtar Command. I'm also a talk show host for 21 years on NPR Pacifica Radio here in the United States. My show Sunday mornings is called The Cosmic Eye. You can watch it on my TikTok here. I broadcast it live. So I want to thank everyone for being here. Any last minute comments from my guests, Friendwood Ferries? April, any final comments you have?
I have one comment. The commander has 3 hats left to make his goal. Can anybody help him out with that so he can make his goal for the night?
Yeah, I need
And
to have those three
he
hats
will do the
taken.
tahar.
Oh boy, you had to put me into that. I might wake people up.
There you go.
Tahar, tahar,
What is that you're saying? What is that you're saying?
tahar,
when I went
tahar,
on
tahar, tahar.
when I went on the ship,
Thank you, everybody.
there was a
Tahar,
flower that they gave me to try that tastes like pineapple juice,
tahar.
and it was called the tahar. And it just ended up being a running joke
This is
of me
never going to
saying
end, I don't think. The hats have stopped for a moment, so I can actually speak. Maybe we'll see.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
So
Um,
it is actually what April was saying is true. It's an actual.
Thank you.
It's a fruit. Is it a fruit? It's a
It's a flower that tastes like pineapple juice.
like pineapple juice. It's called the
It's
tar.
really
well,
good.
I just something just came in mind whenever you were saying that because it reminded me an Avatar movie.
Mhm.
And I remember watching Avatar movie, and from when I started watching the Avatar movie, something sparked in me, and I was like, man, I don't know, it was crazy. It was like I like these people, like they were attracted to me, and after
Mhm.
that, I started seeing extraterrestrials as attractive to me, and I'm like, what is that? Why am I
Right.
feeling this? This was weird.
Yeah. No, I gotcha. I bring up this person, Mel Bell, before we sign off for the night. It's been a long evening on this show. Mel
Hello.
Bell, good evening. Good morning. Good
Hello.
evening. How are you?
Good morning. I'm all right. I have a few questions.
Oh yeah, go right ahead.
What are your thoughts on Israel?
My thoughts on Israel. I believe that any country that is using weapons to destroy other countries or other people on Earth, the Ashtar Command is totally opposed to any destruction of life on planet Earth or any other planet. So it's not just about one country; it's about the way the planet is operating for years. During the Cold War, all of it's no good. All of it's no good. And anything that is a destructive energy force, all these people are operating on ego and power trips, and the command doesn't support any kind of destruction of the Earth or any weapons being used on anybody. It's totally against universal law.
That's good to know. That is really good to know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know
Okay.
you're big on alien and all this, but how do you
Well, not
feel?
aliens, but extraterrestrial intelligence.
How do you feel about chemtrails and what they're doing to planet Earth?
That's being done by governments that are trying to pollute the atmosphere of the Earth. We have our Ashtar Command ships have certain particular entities that are trying to clean up the planet on the air level. And April can actually speak on that because she has been on the ships about 12 times. April, you want to answer Mel's
They're cleaning
question?
up
Sure.
the
They
evil?
have these the Ashtar Command has these ships called weather ships, and they what they are doing is they have these jellyfish looking ships that are going around and starting to clean up these chemtrails so they're not polluting our air.
So there is activity,
Who's in
Mel,
that?
being used. The Ashtar
But
Command.
can we acknowledge that the military has 70 years advanced technology versus what we're aware of?
Oh, we have
With the
reverse technology.
extraterrestrials.
How do
The,
we have
the
reverse? How do we have
well,
reverse?
there Well, that's because we shot down with scalar technology over the last over 40, 50 years, probably before you were born. We shot down with scalar technology some of their craft, and some of them were actually in agreement with General Eisenhower. He made an agreement with the negative ETs that are third dimensional, meaning they have advanced technology. If you give us your technology to reverse engineer it, we'll let you monitor our human race. It was these ETs, the lower vibrational ones that are not the human ones, that actually took abducted people for the last 20, 30, 40 years. That has stopped, but that's how come we have reverse engineered advanced technology, but it's still limited, excuse me, compared to the Ashtar Command spaceships would come, and they can go through different multidimensional realities and different dimensions of existence, where the reverse technology that we've been given at Area 51 and other places is very limited to our universe. We can't go into other dimensions with reverse engineered technology
How do we know it's reverse?
because it is reverse. Reverse means that they gave us the technology, and the scientists at these secret bases on Earth, where they're reverse the technology, some of the triangular craft that people have seen that's been released are reverse engineered technology. I know a lot about this stuff. I've been in this thing for, I had my first contact with positive space people when I was a kid in the 60s. So I have a lot of knowledge on all these questions.
So what makes you different than the military?
No, the military, the ones that are working the secret military operations
Hmm?
with the reverse technology, they're all part of the same thing. So you have Area 51, you have Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, and other facilities probably around the world where they have developed and used reverse technology. All that means is they've taken ET technology of these advanced spaceships and have created reverse engineered technology that can hover, that's anti-gravity, but can only stay within a particular framework of our particular solar system or universe.
So have you read Masonry?
No, I don't read any of that stuff.
Have you? Have you?
It
But
does,
have you? Whether you believe in it or not, have you read about it?
no, I don't read anything about Mason technology. I don't do that. I'm strictly
Don't.
off planet.
But
My
you don't
consciousness is
do
way.
that. But are you not acknowledging it doesn't exist?
I'm not acknowledging it because I don't really pursue that interest. It doesn't matter if it
Not that it's
exists.
your interest, but can you acknowledge whether you're inspired by it or even into it? Do you acknowledge does it exist?
Not necessarily, no, because my consciousness is in a different place. That's why.
Your conscious could be in a different place, but that could be not negative. Not it could be pretty much being oblivious.
No, I'm not oblivious. I
If
know
you
a lot
don't
of things
acknowledge it,
exist.
it's just choosing to be oblivious to it.
Not really. It's all
But
depending on where your consciousness is.
I think we
well,
should.
no,
I think we should just respect people's beliefs and
Right. That's pretty much it. Respect people's
naivety.
beliefs is
Naivety. You could
what are you
believe
talking?
that it's not real because you don't acknowledge it, but it's real in the fact that it's real.
So let's put it this way, Mel.
It's naivety.
The sub
It's
the subjects that we the subjects that we deal with on our show here are strictly involved with the cosmic extraterrestrial area. We don't deal with anything else. We don't deal with the paranormal.
And
We
you need
don't
to
deal,
respect that.
and that's what we do. If that's where you don't want to go,
It's not
then
where I'm not saying where I don't want to go. I'm asking you about something that you don't want to go with.
Well,
I'm not
this
going to
is
talk. This is not
this
the show to ask it. This is
this
not
is his
the
life. We need to
topic.
respect his
Right. It's my
rules.
live. It's I'm
Respect
the host of
what?
the show.
Respect what? The fact that you're not acknowledging that that crime doesn't exist in this world.
Okay.
That's true, though. It's a naivety. It's
Exactly.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
I was just about to do it. I was just
I
about to hit
I was
that
like,
I
button.
why
want
am I not a mod?
to.
I was
No,
just
I
about to
mean,
hit that button.
I was wondering where this person was going. That's why I gave her
Very,
them a
very
chance.
angry person.
I've now blocked them from the show, folks, which is a beautiful thing. As you know, the commander, is here to bust the matrix. Well, I busted that person's matrix. They'll never be able to come back to this universe.
Bye.
you know,
And
as
you
much
I
as
was just about to hit it too. I was.
as much as I'm
Loading it up.
Catholic, I
hey,
stay.
Rod, I
I
just
respect your life.
blocked her. I just blocked her, so she will not be on here. The commander went into commander mode. Watch out. If you're going to be like that person, you'll never get me upset or anything. I'll just press the little button on my spaceship here,
Oh my
and
goodness,
you'll
you are
be out
so
in the
calm
universe.
and relaxed. I really like that. That's love. See, that's love. That
You
shows
see,
love right there.
I know how to
Keeping
do.
a
I know
peace.
how to be a talk show host. I've been doing radio for 21 years, and I did TV for about 5.
Oh wow, so
So
you're ready
nothing
for that.
phases me. We took that vibe and threw it out the window.
I always say nothing surprises me, but then things end up surprising me.
What was she even
Yeah,
talking about? I couldn't even understand her.
I
I
couldn't
didn't
understand
understand
it.
anything. But well, I just want to end the show with some beautiful things. I love you all. It's been a great show tonight, and I'm glad that everybody's been here. We're going to be on tomorrow night. I'm going to do more interviews. Ruby, again, I thank you. You've been a great guest, and we
Thank
learned a
you.
lot of
Thank you.
things from your being here. And just know, if you're a troll or somebody that's angry, you won't last very long on the commander's show here. I guarantee it.
I have a question before you end the
Yes.
live, please.
Go ahead.
So I've had dreams that literally come reality. Does that have anything to do with extraterrestrials?
Repeat the question.
I have had dreams that days before, or in that same day that I dream about a person that something's happening to them, I wake up and I let them know, and it's literally happened or already happened, or it's just happening at the moment that I call them to tell them.
Um, I think it could be both. I really have to think about that.
It sounds to
But
me like you have
Yeah,
a
well,
gift.
I'm sorry, what was she said?
It sounds to me like you have a gift.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, sometimes that gift goes away when I'm not very good in following commandments. But then I'm like, whenever I lose those gifts that have been given to me, I'm like, oh no, I need to get myself right again so I can get them back because it really helps to try to help other people. But anyways,
Yeah.
thank you for answering my questions and thank you for having me again. And I'll see you again. God bless you.
Hey, oh, we will. Well, I'm glad you're here, man. We're going to be, we're on nightly at around 11 o'clock Eastern in the US. So this is an actual talk show for people that don't realize it. There are other TikToks that aren't talk shows. They just yell at each other. We actually do interviews with people, and we are a talk show. So
Yeah,
there
I
you
really
go.
like the feeling that I was here, the welcoming and you can feel the peace in this
We
life.
Yeah.
we
There's no
try to be
arguing unless
respectful here.
until the lady came in, but anyways, we forgive her,
Yeah,
right?
no problem. We nipped that lady in the bud. She's now on
Let's
a
erase
concealed
that.
space. She's on a concealed spaceship on another, universal level. She can't get out of the ship. She's going to go crazy.
Definitely out there in outer space, that's for sure.
Yeah,
It was a
definitely.
pleasure,
All right.
Ruby, to meet you.
I'm following you, by
I'm
the way.
following you too.
Yeah, thank you. God bless y'all. Good night.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone follow Ruby so you can get up to 1,000, and she's close to it, so that's not too bad. Everybody out there, it's the time for the commander to go off planet, and I'll tell you, in the next 6 months, we are going to go off planet in the real sense of the word. So, thank you, Rod. Thank you, everybody. You're all beautiful. The new people, please follow everybody here. We only got to 51,000, and it's too late to. I'm not staying on to 130. So, we usually hit 100,000. No, what is not 100,000? We hit 100,000 usually in likes. So we'll do that tomorrow night. Anyway, I'm starting to fade out a little bit here. So everybody, thank you for being here. Ruby, any
Thank you for
final
having me.
comments? Oh, absolutely. April, anything you want to say?
Just that I love everybody, and you guys all have a wonderful night.
Maybe next time I can hear her what she went through and stuff because I didn't get to hear. I got to hear too late.
Yeah.
Peace and
And
love,
I
everyone.
actually, yeah, Rod and I just took out somebody. So we won't mention who they are, but we have good moderators here. We took out the trolls. So there you go. Take care, everybody. We love you, and we'll see you later. Take care.
Good
This has
Night.
night.
been Encounters, a show that's out of this world. Let's see here.